the weekends. So I get it. It's frustrating to find yourself being really good, eating healthy, doing a good job during the week, only to get to the weekend and find yourself overeating and eating everything in sight. So I'm going to talk about what's happening here so you can quit derailing your progress and stop starting over on Monday. And hey, I've even put together a calorie calculator that's going to help you to stay on track. And we're going to talk about this here in just a minute. But to grab that free resource, just drop calorie down below and I'll get that right over to you in Messenger. And hey, if we haven't met before, my name is Becky Fox, a fitness and nutrition coach that's helped thousands of women over the last 19 years drop the weight and keep it off without restrictive diets or having to starve themselves. All right, let's dive into this so you can stop blowing up your diet on the weekend. There's two big things I want you to focus on that are the culprits for this, okay? It's not you, it's not that you lack willpower. A lot of times it's these outdated methods and these strategies that we're using that are unbelievably still floating around. So the first one is actually this idea that we have to starve ourselves. We have to eat 1,200 or 1,000, or I've even had women recently tell me they're trying to eat like 800 or 900 calories. I don't know how you're even doing that because it is awful. It is, you're hungry all the time, you're cranky all the time, you feel like crap all the time. This is no way to make sustainable weight loss. But what's interesting is this whole 1,200 calorie diet came about, like the idea came about like 100 years ago. So I don't know why we're still doing this when it's not optimal for women's long-term fat loss, for their hormones, for their metabolism, and it's making it harder for you to get the weight off and keep it off. So making sure we're not under eating, as weird as it seems, it's not just about eating less and starving yourself. This is going to backfire. This is why you get so hungry and you feel so deprived that you just eat everything in sight on the weekends. So the strategy that I use with my clients is we get you eating more calories. You're still in a calorie deficit. You're still eating less so that you lose weight, but it's not so low that you're starving and find yourself snacking at night or overeating on the weekends. It's not so low that you don't have a little wiggle room to maybe have, some tacos or to have a piece of chocolate or eat pizza on Friday night with your family. So when we bump up our calories a little bit, we can live life. We can do it in a way that feels good so that we're more likely to actually stick to the plan that we're following, okay? So let's ditch those low calorie diets and instead get you eating more. Now you're probably wondering, Becky, well, how much should I be eating? There's no one magic, this is the other problem. There's no one magic number that works for everybody. We're all different, right? Our height, our activity levels, our age, all these things factor in. And that's why I've put together a weight loss calorie calculator so that you can find the sweet spot, the number that works for you. Because like most things, right, we shouldn't be shoving ourselves into a cookie cutter box that's the same for everybody. We're all different and unique. And so making sure you're finding a calorie range that works for you is really, really key. So drop calorie down below and I'll get that over to you so you can figure out what your calorie sweet spot is so that you can lose the weight but easily stay on track. Okay, so that's number one, okay, is nourishing our body, fueling our body so we keep our metabolism ramped up, so we feel good about the weight loss process and we can actually stick to it. Okay, number two is you're trying to restrict all the things that you love. So you get so deprived that you can't help but just go crazy. We're putting these foods on a pedestal. It's no wonder you get to the weekend and you're like, let me eat the whole gallon of ice cream or let me, down the whole pizza. If we take away, we take these foods off the pedestal, we know that we can have them anytime, right? It's like telling a little kid, you can't have something. Guess what? They're gonna want it more. And you're no different. So allowing yourself some wiggle room during the week, some flexibility in your diet plan to have maybe a Reese cup or to have a few bites of pizza, right? If we actually allow ourselves to have these things sprinkled in throughout the week or sprinkled in throughout the day, guess what? You're not going to get to the weekend and feel like you have to eat everything in sight and clean out the kitchen on Sunday before you start over again on Monday, right? Because again, how long are you going to do this for? How long are you going to give up sugar or give up chocolate or give up tacos and pizza and all the things that you love? It's not going to stick in the long run, okay? Because it's not realistic, and you can't, if you're trying to eat separate meals from your family and you can't go out and enjoy dinner with them, right? Eventually this is going to have a shelf life because you can't live your real life. So again, bumping up your calories a little bit so you have some wiggle room to have these things that you enjoy, sprinkling them in throughout the week so you don't ever feel restricted, you don't ever feel deprived, so that you're overeating them on the weekends, is the key to helping you stay on track. Okay, so let me know which one of these spoke to you about maybe eating more calories, which was number one, or number two, which is not restricting everything that you love, because you don't have to do this stuff, you guys, to lose weight. It's a huge myth that you have to starve. It's a huge myth you have to give up carbs or sweets or all these things. We can have this stuff. We just have to have a plan around how we put it into our day, into our week, so that we don't feel restricted and we still get amazing results in the progress. in the process. Okay, so let me know which one spoke to you. And hey, again, if you want to grab that calorie calculator so you know how much calories you should be eating to lose weight, which is a great starting point on your journey, just drop